Right, so I was not expecting this episode to come out as soon as it has. If I'm being quite frankly honest, I was not expecting to look on my PC today and realize, or look on YouTube today and realize that this episode was now out. I was like, okay. I was expecting there to be a. Basically, in short, I was not expecting to be reacting to this video this soon. So I'm not complaining. It's great. I love it. It got a long episode. It's like just over 11 minutes, which is really cool. There's gonna be a lot to break down and react to in this video. You can tell this has caught me off guard because I'm not even doing my usual intro with this. But yeah, as you can see, we're kicking off with a bit of awkwardness right off the back between these two getting reunited, and yeah, it's gonna be very awkward. I would like to also, before we get into this episode, I would like to place a prediction, because I always like, you guys know on this channel how much I love talking and theorizing about. I love theories. I love theorizing about stuff and then being proved completely and utterly wrong. So, I would like to theorize, because obviously in the last episode, and I mentioned this in the last episode when we, it wasn't of the Nether one. It was, what was it called? The whole like trailer montage episode with this is where it left off with these two. I can't remember what the episode name was. You Can Do Better, that's what it was called. But in that episode, we obviously have Rain, Ciara, and Kane in the Nether. And Rain's obviously reuniting with Abby. But Stella didn't appear once, and I said that at the end of the last episode of the main series, that Stella wouldn't appear. So my prediction is that these two will make amends, or like clear the air. They'll get on good terms again. They might like end up hugging it out or something. Like, just like platonic. It doesn't have, I'm not implying it has to be romantic, but just like a platonic hug to like hug it out or whatever. Stella will have also followed them, seen that from a distance, and then run off on her own, and that's going to trigger her prophecy. That's my theory, at least. It probably won't be the case, but my god, you have no idea how hyped I am to get into Stella's prophecy stuff. I haven't forgotten it. I've been constantly reminding people that it's gonna happen at some point, and I really hope Red and the team don't let me down in terms of the prophecy, because it's the one thing that I'm still excited for when it comes to the rest of the main series. Also, the fact that I feel like when all the air's been cleared here, Kane, you kind of got some explaining to do, pal. But anyway, without further ado, let's kick off this awkwardness. Oh boy, I'm scared!
Abigail, how are you alive?
No, this can't be.
Yeah, they're basically. I like the fact that he obviously he's gonna address her by her name, but like, please, I'm pausing right off the bat. There's gonna be a lot of pausing in this episode. Bear in mind. Bear that in mind. There's gonna be a lot of pausing in this episode. I really hope that Abby is the first person to call Rain by his name. Call him Rain.
How are you alive?
No, this can't be. This must be another illusion. How are you alive? I saw you die on that bridge.
Illusion? What are you talking about? Was that the last thing you remember? I put you to rest when the Nether Star possessed you.
I don't really know, but apparently, Kane here claims responsibility for my resurrection.
What? Everyone...
Okay, that went about as well as I thought it was gonna. You didn't let me. I love how she just casually deflected the conversation, being like, well, about that, Kane is the one at fault here.
What are you talking about? Was that the last thing you remember? I put you to rest when the Nether Star possessed you.
I I don't really know, but apparently, Kane here claims responsibility for my resurrection.
What?
Everyone calm down and put your weapons away. None of us are enemies, I can explain.
Well, then start talking, Kane. You were working with the Nether Princess this whole time?
Look, it's a little complicated, but you have to trust me.
The Netherbane was founded on the idea that we fight against the Nether. And you're conspiring with them?
Just whose side are you on, really?
Wait, you guys met before? Are there other things you're not telling us?
Everyone, relax and let me finish! We're all on the same side here!
Sorry, I love all the talking. Sorry, I'm kind of like being very quiet to like get into the hear what they're saying.
Against the Nether. And
True.
you're conspiring with them?
Just whose side are you on, really?
Wait, you guys met before? Are there other things you're not telling us?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, these two have every right to be as confused as they are right now. They have every right to be asking these questions. You don't have the right to be yelling at them because you're the one who owes an explanation.
Everyone, relax and let me finish!
We're
all on the same side here! Fighting against a common foe! The Nether Empire!
Then what exactly are we to you? Mere pawns to your grand scheme? You think you're some kind of puppet master?
Why can't Kane just be honest with everyone and save himself the headache? Is he stupid? Can you stop doing that?
Listen, everyone. It's partly my fault that I hid my plans for so long. Y'all deserve to know the truth.
Go on.
I'll explain everything. From the top.
Okay. Oh, we're cutting here to here immediately. Okay, interesting.
Who are you? And how did you find this place?
Lower the weapon and let's talk this out.
Good
I'm
voice
not
for
your
Vanessa.
enemy.
You are not in a position to negotiate.
Ha! My salvation is here. You thought these shackles could hold me forever?
You're mistaken. I do not work for the Empire.
Wait, what? Then why are you freeing me from this dungeon?
What? You just freed an Imperial general, yet you claim you don't work for the Empire. That doesn't add up.
He's working
I
for
wouldn't
Kane.
exactly say he's
working
free.
for Kane.
Look, I will say this as briefly as I can. There is a looming rebellion in the Nether Kingdom. A certain faction wants to deliver justice against General Hogsworth. They will prove to be a worthy ally
Hold on, you're
for
just gonna casually drop that on us? Whoa. Look at that. Okay, that's got to be the, oh my god, my brain's blanking. This has got to be, Catastrophe, I think. This has got to be, Sylveon's character, because if I'm right, she has explosive powers, and I want to see this bitch explode some shit. Not sure about any of the other ones. I think I've seen him before. I think he's another suggested character. But apart from that, I don't know any of the other ones. Nephili could have totally been added within this. I was robbed, okay? Nephili could totally fit in here. And that upsets me. That generally upsets me.
They will prove to be a worthy ally for all of us if we gain their trust.
What are you talking about? The Nether King sent the Wither Angels to attack us. It seems to me that they're only uniting more and more. Your claim contradicts what we've personally witnessed.
Because you haven't seen all of it. I can't explain any further. You just have to trust me. Farewell. Don't do something you'll regret. Sorry, but you brought that upon yourself.
True, you can.
I hope you remember that I'm your ally. I trust that next time we meet will not be with weapons drawn against each other. Goodbye. For now.
She's a badass. I'm sorry. She's a badass. I love it. I want to see more of Vanessa because that is a beautiful. I don't know who voices Vanessa, but that is a beautiful voice. It's also a really good replacement voice actress for Azura.
And that's everything. Hope you're now all caught up with my plans.
I guess that sounds reasonable enough, but I still can't comprehend everything at the moment.
There didn't seem to be any ill intentions. Was it necessary to hide it from all of us?
I wasn't sure you'd trust each other.
Yeah, I mean,
You mentioned
that is a good point. That is a good point. These two have fought, and Abby has killed Ciara before. So this is, reasonable. And then, yeah.
You mentioned previously that it was too soon for me to be back. Why?
I'm not yet finished with bringing the rebel kingdoms together.
Still, wouldn't reviving me earlier help unite them quicker?
News of your return will spread very fast and reach the Nether King within a few days. I wanted everything to be ready in case Imperial forces attempted to shut down the rebellion.
What now then?
There are potential allies across the realms. My hired hands are already reaching out to them as we speak, but they won't be able to do everything on their own. Our next step would be to head to the Illager town to acquire allies in the overworld. I will provide more details soon.
What about us? Can't we join your quest?
Yeah, what do we do next?
You two will return to the overworld and continue studying the End Crystals and the powers they can give you. You need to unlock your true Ender Chosen potential to stand a chance against another
That's
king.
where that shot came
What?
from.
No way. The war...
Because so we saw...
Potential to stand
I had a feeling this would be like a part of a plan or like a flashback or... Not a flashback, but like a... Yeah, it wasn't going to be an actual part of the episode, if that makes sense. It was just going to be like a Ken explaining his stuff, so which I kind of expected. But that's kind of cool.
a chance against the Nether King.
What? No way. The war rages on and you'll be leaving me at the comfort of the tavern studying magic?
We got this covered. I'll advise you what to do after. Just go!
But...
Come on. Let's go, Dragon Tamer.
Look, I don't know how to feel right now, but it seems fate keeps bringing us back together, no matter how far the world tries to tear us apart.
Likewise. I wish you two a safe journey.
I'm glad they're like going
Hey,
good.
listen. I really want to fight by your side again, but I have to stick with my responsibilities as the Ender Chosen. After all of this is over, can we please catch up? There's so much I want to tell you about, like...
Hurry up, lover boy. We have unfinished business with the end crystals. Besides, I don't think your new girlfriend is gonna like you acting all lovey-dovey with your old flame.
Take care.
She's actually like, you know, brushing it off and not acting like all broken hearted, and I like that. Okay, to be fair, like though, you can't really blame. You can't really blame Rain for you know, he wants to talk with Abby. I feel like it's a good thing that they want to like maintain that relationship, even if it's just platonic, because obviously the two of them have a lot of history together, so there's nothing wrong with, you know, them keeping it
Like you acting all lovey-dovey with your old flame.
Take care.
You two, talk to that brute pigman over there.
I have a name, you know. You can call me Urgrak.
Ermac, yeah, whatever. Just go talk to him. He'll brief you on how to get to the Soul Sand Valley.
You got it, boss.
Okay.
General Irem, General Scythian, and Lady Maya, I offer you my utmost gratitude for bolstering the castle's defenses.
Just doing our duty, my lord.
However, this is
Why does Euron sound like a robot?
for bolstering the castle's defenses.
Just doing our duty, my lord.
Is that Rain's voice? Is Rainimator voicing Irem?
Defenses.
Just doing our duty, my lord.
However, this is no cause for celebration yet. The Nether King is back and more powerful than ever.
Yeah.
Our fronts beyond the snow biomes are now at risk of being overwhelmed by Imperial forces.
That's cool.
Then it's time we seek new allies. We can't win this
That's
war
elite.
on our own.
How about an alliance with the tidal monarch of the Guardian's Landing? They've had an encounter with the Wither Angels.
The Wither Angels stealing the End Crystal is like losing a museum artifact. It's not a concern to them. And they're already currently at war with the Drowned. They have bigger fish to fry.
Damn.
Literally.
How about
Yeah,
seeking help
literally.
from the desert factions of the Barren Frontier? Or the Illagers?
The Illagers? Are you suggesting we work with criminals?
My lord, not to be rude, but you regularly employ bandits in battle, no?
Because
That is also a good point. You did work with Daryl. You've worked with Flint. You've worked with that unnamed dude that we never named.
they're small-time lawbreakers. Easy to control for the right price. Illagers, though? They're a huge crime syndicate that spans beyond continents. And I don't think we can afford them at all.
Fair enough. What about the desert factions, then?
They're still recovering from recent attacks by the undead lords, who now seem to be working for the Nether King.
Okay,
General-
is it just me, or did the... Sorry, I don't mean to sound rude here, but is it just me, or do these, like, still shot renders seem a lot lower quality than the usual ones? The still shot renders, like, as they're panning across, they're lower, they look a lot lower quality. Because, look at their eyes. Like, you can still see the pixelates, or the pixels. It doesn't look HD there. It just looks like, the renders look flat and it looks lower quality, sorry.
Now seem to be working for the Nether King. General Irem, I've briefed you about this before, and I believe I've given you everything you need to deal with them.
With haste, my lord. I will prepare my squadron to deal with the situation. We will march by the next sunrise.
Looks like all of our potential allies are either fighting their own war, untrustworthy, or currently being overrun by the undead. A threat that we thought we already eradicated.
Sorry to interrupt, my good sirs and ladies. But Hawksworth is broken out in the dungeon!
What?
Oh,
Yeah, what?
Also, Lady Azura has been found amongst the knocked out prison guards.
Oh no. Is she... I mean, are they okay?
Yes, my lord. We've sent medics to take care of them, but she insisted on speaking with you immediately. There's something of great concern you should know about.
So many problems happening at once. What now, my lord?
Let's go check out what happened in the dungeon. We'll continue our discussion there.
Okay, we'll do that,
The Soul Sand Servitors, huh?
What the heck are they? Excuse me? I think flying sharks? Flying sharks with wings.
They wiped out by the first Nether King? How come they're back?
Oh, we're in the Soul
Unlike
Sand
us,
Valley. We're gonna see the
skeletons are
servitors?
basically immortal. Those who aren't severely damaged can easily be rebuilt over and over. I've heard that one of their champions lost its head. The necromancers found him and rebuilt him. He has been ruling them ever since.
Huh. Then why didn't they try to seek revenge after several hundred years?
They only fight defensively. King Tuskar only wanted them gone because those who didn't submit to the crown were seen as threats to unification.
Damn.
His son, Prince Duma, and the other monarchs who followed after didn't bother dealing with them ever again, giving them a chance to rebuild.
Then
Fair
how can we
enough.
convince them to fight for us if they've been on the defensive for hundreds of years?
Beats me. We'll just have to see what they've been up to this entire time. Hopefully we'll
It's gonna cut. Imagine it cuts to them with like holding like a gigantic machine gun. No, I'm kidding.
keep our hides at the end of this.
Interlopers! State your business.
What the fuck is this? I love it. Where are those skeletons with accents?
Whoa! Calm down, buddy. We arrive as envoys of the Nether Princess.
Nether Princess? Eh? These two are Imperial scum! Ha-ha! Arise, my comrades!
Wait, no. I swear we come in peace. The Nether Princess is rebelling against the Empire. We've been sent as envoys to look for allies for her cause. You have to believe me.
Oh no. Soul Sand doesn't respond to my powers.
What? Are we cooked?
Halt!
That solemnness.
I have been expecting you.
Well, that's not quite what the turn of events I was expecting, if I'm being perfectly honest. So when you said rebuilt him, you mean you're in what? He's now a hybrid of a warden. He's somehow gained a warden ear. Or is that a horn? I don't know. Might be a horn actually, because skeletons don't have ears. No, it'll be an ear, right? Because yeah. And he's been infested with skulk. Interesting, considering the Nether doesn't have skulk. Eric and Evan, I'm assuming, were the two twins with the axe, or the two skeletons with the accent. Elite is obviously Sufyan. Yeah, it was Ren who was Zyram. I figured as much. Oh, and Nat was Maya. Okay, cool. It's gonna be interesting to see how the rest of the season plays out. I will say, we did get like a brief shot of Stella then, like
studying the end crystals and the powers they can give.
Yeah, this is I want to know the thing that's bugging me is I want to know why. I want to know why, because obviously Stella got a brief shot here, but like it was obviously from a scene we've already seen in a previous episode. I hope the next episode has like something to do with her. That would be really cool. But the thing is, again, I think that's a lower quality render if I'm being perfectly honest, but I don't know. That's what it looks like to me. Because like if you zoom in, you can see like his face is pixels, whereas if that was like HD, you wouldn't notice the pixels.
Villagers though, they're huge crimes.
Yeah, I'm not tripping here. Like these are definitely lower quality renders than the ones that I don't know. Maybe someone else is rendering these and not Rain, but these don't look as these would look cooler if it was like HD with like the proper render settings, I suppose. He looks cool though. He looks very cool. I like Beardy Boy. That's Klaus. See, yeah. I don't mean to sound rude by repeating this, but yeah, it makes the renders look flat. They just look flat. There's nothing leaping out at me that makes it look. But yeah, that's Klaus. This guy's looks the best out of all of them, I think. A Beardy Boy with staff. He looks cool. I hope we get to see more of the pillagers, because I think Kane also mentioned. What did he say?
My hired hands are already reaching out to them as we speak, but they won't be able to do everything on their own. Our next step would be to head to the Illager town to acquire allies in the overworld. I will provide more details soon.
I hope we do get to see more Illagers, because I do like the Illager stuff. Yeah. The only thing I feel like would have gone better with the whole narration against the. It just sucks because I wish like we could get a bit. Like, I wish we could like have like better renders of them, but it's a bit of a letdown. I won't deny, and I refuse to ignore the fact that it's a bit of a letdown to have lower quality renders. If I'm being perfectly honest, it's just the fact that it's inconsistent with the whole rest of the episode, and if Rain's like got like extra help to help out with things, it's if you're gonna have extra help to like help with renders and like rendering through scenes and whatnot, like it needs to match up to the same quality. Otherwise, there's a disconnect. I'm not more interested, but like I'd be more. It would look better. It would just look better if it was all consistent. So it's the same here as well. It just looks flat. It's not like the same 3D-ness. However, I have to be completely honest in regards to this episode. The end result to what was hyped up was really fucking disappointing. I have to be completely honest here, because what it could have been What it could have been was an episode expanding the lore, fixing previous issues, giving more insight into different characters, expanding upon characters' relationships, But basically, all we just got instead was a very unimportant lore dump. You could have skipped the entirety of this. Maybe there was no point to this episode at all. 0 point to it. I went from being so excited and so hyped up about this episode to it being a real fucking letdown. It just was a real letdown. It was badly... But literally, the episode just had... We waited, 3 or 4 months for an episode that's going to be long. We were like, okay, it's going to be longer. It's going to have dialogue. We can expand upon all these things. It's going to set it up for the whole rest of the season. Whatever. And just the reality we got was... And what we got instead was unimportant dumping of lore and cringy dialogue. It was just bad. Badly written. It was just badly written, badly presented. Like, I can't sit here and say this episode blew me away. It was so good in writing. It wasn't. It was badly written, this episode. It was... You could have shortened all of this down to being like a prologue of the next video. Like, if I'm breaking it down, honestly, the only good thing really that came of this episode was Ciara reminding Rain that he actually does have a girlfriend, which, of course, that's canon now. But yeah, it was literally just filler. We were literally just given an episode of filler. Like, they got angry at Kane, but that was a real letdown. And then it cuts to... This whole scene could have been completely skipped over. Like, sure, it teased, like, what, a rebellion? Are these the rebellion? Are these the people... I'm assuming this is the Crimson Order, probably. Which, again, I was robbed of Nephili, and I find that kind of rude, but whatever. You could have had a Gaskin in here, instead of just being... I don't know, I love demons. And unless I'm misunderstanding, and this is not the Crimson Order, but the fact that the leaders literally got red hair here, whatever. I'm just saying. But anyway, literally, that was all just filler, unnecessary. This whole scene again was just filler. You could have gotten rid of the whole of that. That was completely unimportant. We didn't need any of the whole nether plans or whatever. It was unnecessary. There was no weight to it whatsoever. There was no weight. Yeah, there was just no weight. There was nothing to it. Nothing. And then you have the nether. This is it. Even then, you had lore drops. You had lore drops of like the other factions, the undead, bit of the pillagers, bit of the drowned. But like even then, it was poorly organized. It was just an all-round bad episode. Like, I can't sit here and say, don't get me wrong, there are some interesting bits when you, like, tease, like, obviously teasing the undead. You're teasing, like, what, that rebellion, was either the Crimson Order or it was the allies of the Nether King or whatever. But it was just a really... You could have had... It took all the expectations that was so high and so excitable and then just sunk them back down to like a rock bottom. There was no weight. And there was no impact in this episode. It was just full of nothing. I just feel like from what's implied on the Discord at the very least of these writers saying like we're good at what we do. We know what we're doing. You know, have faith in us, trust us, and this is the result. This better not be a consistent thing, because the series is gonna go downhill very quickly. if this is the results we're going to be getting over and over again. Like, sorry, I'm not going to mince my words here. This is a poor episode. Overall, it's a very poor episode. Which I hate, I hate saying it. Because I wanted to be engaged in this whole episode so badly. It was just such a huge disappointment. Such a huge disappointment with no impact toward anything, no weight toward anything. Even the bit at the end there, like, we've seen these characters were obviously teased on the Discord, but then the production team members were also leaking out lore of all these exclude Glutton there for a moment, because obviously he's in season 1. But the other guys, I could have had so much interest into the background of these characters. And sure, they may not get expanded upon for quite some time. It may be quite a few years before they even get delved into in like a special episode or something. Or even like a mini-series, or I don't know. But like, I feel nothing toward any of these. This showing this in an episode should have made anyone, whether they're part of the Discord or not, to want to know more about these characters. But like, I don't know. These things were just poorly managed, and this episode was poorly written, and we were robbed of so much potential for this episode. There's no other way of me saying that. Sorry, there's just not. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend it's a good episode, that it's engaging, that it had a lot of impact for it, that it had a lot of weight to it. You could have skipped this episode, gone on to episode 4, and it wouldn't have mattered. This episode is just a filler episode. Sorry, just saying that now. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching my reaction video here. I'm sorry for having to make such negative comments, but I'm not gonna sit here and pretend it's a good episode when it isn't. Quite frankly, it's just not a good episode at all. It was just It was just full of lackluster filler, which is really, really disappointing. But anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.